and no props needed, just yourself. Oh, of course, besides your chair. All right, so as you find your way to your seat, just take a second to scooch butt back, get nice and comfortable, get everything organized so it feels like it can just settle into your chair. Invite a little softness into your feet. Invite a little softness into your legs. Invite a little softness into your abdomen. And if your hands can land there comfortably where they don't have to work too hard, let your hands rest just on that nice soft tissue of your abdomen. And we're not trying to breathe and fill the belly up, but we do want to feel that gentle, small amount of movement in the belly as we breathe in and out. So hands on the abdomen if it feels cool, and then just start to slow your breath down a little bit. Sometimes I just like to say the things so that we know that our aim is clear. So there are good positive benefits to that first initial step of teaching belly breathing. It's a good way for people to feel the movement of breath, get that downward trajectory of breath. But then once you get a little bit better at breathing, then you want that intercostal breath to come in. So you want, there's movement in the abdomen, but we want the rib cage to get a little bit of a lift and open, expansive feeling of the breath, and then the exhalation. So we want all those coordinated muscles working. So see if you can start to think about, let's say right underneath that nice curvy part of your rib cage. And here comes Christine. I'm gonna repeat everything that I just said. So give her a second to find her way to her chair. All right, so think about just slightly underneath your rib cage. Now the diaphragm is, hi Christine. The diaphragm is connected front of the rib cage and all the way around. So it's a nice circular dome of muscle. And when we breathe, that dome, the inhalation, the dome moves down, our digestive organs kind of move in coordination, and the pelvic floor moves in coordination. And then as we exhale, everything excursions back up and the digestive organs move back into place. So typically speaking, when you're learning to take some good deep breaths, a lot of times we start with feeling movement in the belly because it shows up really easily. And then once you get good at that, then we want to feel a little bit of breath into the intercostal muscles. So those muscles that are in the spaces between the bones of the ribs. So hands somewhere down in that space between rib cage and the abdomen. You want to breathe like there's this downward movement of breath, and you want to feel a little lift into your hands at the rib cage and a little bit of movement in the front of the belly, but we're not going to fill it up. But we will take, in a minute, we'll take one bad breath just so you can feel that pressure in the canister. So take a nice big in breath and just feel a little bit of lift come into the sides of your ribs. And then exhale through your nose as slow as you can. And so hopefully you're feeling just maybe a touch of movement in the ribs, and it doesn't need to be extreme. Sometimes we do go like full-fledged and we get a big amount of movement going on, especially when we're heading towards our abdominal vacuums. But today we just want to feel like we've got a little touch of movement happening into the sides of the rib cage. And then you're going to put your hands back on your belly, and this is bad breath, and we're only going to do it one time, but just we want to feel that like pressure into the canister. So take a big breath and breathe as if you're trying to pooch your belly into your hands. So take a big belly filling up breath. And I mean, like fill it up as much as you can. And that pressure that you're feeling is not so good. We don't want it all the time. We want to have that good coordination of breath from the upper diaphragm and the pelvic floor diaphragm. So we're not going to do that again. All right. So take a second just to kind of sit up a little bit taller, get your butt nice and comfortable in your seat. And then we're just going to take a little glance down at our feet, and you're going to go keep your small toes connected to the ground, lift your big toe up and hold for 3, 2, one. And then your big toes are going to come down. I'll spin sideways just to make sure that my feet are showing. So big toes up, small toes stay connected down, and then hold just for a second, and then do it again. Small toes stay down, big toe lifts up, and hold for about 3, 2, 1. One more time there. So from our big toe to the heels, to the knees, to the hips, to our shoulders, to our jaw, we have a fascial connection. So we want our big toe to be nice and hardy and healthy and move independently best we can. Take one more second to float it down. And now all toes in the balls of the feet. Lift your toes, lift the balls of the feet. Tibialis lift. So we get those muscles in the front of the shins, get a little bit active, and then float them back down nice and slow. Do it again. Lift your toes, lift the balls of the feet, shins get a little bit squeezed and engaged. Hold just for a second and then float them down nice and slow. One more time. Lift your toes, lift the balls of your feet, hold just for a second. Float them down nice and slow. Hands are going to come forward, catch your knees or your tops of your thighs, take it into a seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. And as you exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back. One more just like that, and then we're going to add a knee lift in alternation. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, and then you take it back to that inhalation. On your inhale, see if you can go stretch from sternum to the chin like you're stretching a rubber band. Find that little pandiculation there. And then as you exhale, pick up one knee, get a little tuck and round. Nose towards the knee, knee towards the nose, but it doesn't matter if they touch. Inhale, set everything down, stretch from sternum to chin, get that nice elastic band stretch. And then as you exhale, pick up your other knee, get a little tuck and round. Inhale, set it down, lift your chest, lift your chin, stretch from the sternum to the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, set it down, lift, stretch from the sternum to the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. We're going to go one more time through. Inhale, set your foot down, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, set it down, stretch the big good morning stretch from sternum to the chin. And then exhale, soften, tuck and round. Nice. And then set that foot down, go right into a soft seated twist. So sometimes we do different variations of twisting. Sometimes we get like really tall into our spine. Sometimes we leverage into the twists, and sometimes we go soft. So today we're going to go just a little bit soft. So there's a slight sense of rotation, like you're turned to one side. And then see if you can come back to that idea of breathing into the side of the rib cage. Take a nice big breath. On your next inhale, come through center. And then as you exhale, twist to the other side. Same thing here, a little soft twist, just enough so that there's a little rotation in the spine. You're looking off to one side, and then there's room for the breath to move in the rib cage. Take a nice big rib cage lifting breath. On an inhale, come back to center. Left hand's going to hold onto the chair. Right hand's going to reach up, and we're going to tip over 3 little lateral side stretches. So you're going to reach up and over, but do a little effort into it, like you're anchoring your sits bones down, and there's a little energy up into your arm and your hand, and then come away from it just enough, and then do it again. Anchor down into your sits bones, get that little reach through the fingertips, a little space into the side of the ribs, and then come back up, and then do it one more time. Get that little side body reach, a little effort as your sits bones anchor down, a little energy up into your hand. And then come up nice and slow, switch sides. Right hand down, left hand reaches up, tip over. But as you reach up, reach down as well. So the sits bones are anchored into the ground, and the fingers get that nice side stretch, and then come out of it just enough. And then we do it again. Reach up and over, get that nice big bit of space into the sides of the ribs. And then come up nice and slow. One more time. Reach up and over. Beautiful. And then come back up nice and slow. Grab your left thigh, do a little basket weave, pick the whole leg up, and then use your arms and take that thigh bone and draw it in some nice big generous circles. Circle in one direction. Circle the other way. little nerve flossing. So when we do nerve flossing, it's about the nerve line versus like the muscular line. Muscles typically is where you're going to feel the sensation first. So we use that as sort of that feedback place. And we don't try to perfectly straighten the leg or get some big crazy stretch. We walk up to the edge of tension and then we come right back out of it. So grab your leg, give it a little basket weave, pick it up so that the thigh's a little bit closer to your chest. And then you're going to inhale, lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot, lower your chin. Again, it's not about perfectly straightening the leg. It's just finding that little tension and then release. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. One more with that pattern. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. And now this time you're going to lift your foot, tuck your chin. So you're going to lift your foot, tuck chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin. Lift your foot, tuck your chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin. One more just like that. Lift your foot, tuck your chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin, and then back to a semi-neutral. Send that leg out in front of you, but keep a good bend in the knee. And then we go up and over. So you're going to lift upward as if you're trying to just kind of pick up over the front pockets of your jeans, reaching towards the toe with a little bit of effort, but it does not matter if you can touch your toe. We just want to feel like maybe there's a little positive stress in the back of the leg and take a nice big breath. All right, and then when you're ready, come back up nice and slow, step that foot in and grab the other leg, pick it up, get to your little basket weave, arms do the work, take that thigh bone and draw it in some nice generous circles, going in one direction. Take it in reverse, go the other way. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to floss the nerve on the line of this leg. So hold it a little bit close to your heart, lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin, lower your foot and lower your chin. Inhale, lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot, lower your chin. One more with that pattern. Inhale, lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot, lower your chin. And now we take the chin and foot in reverse. So lift your foot, tuck your chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin. Lift your foot, tuck your chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin. One more time, lift your foot, tuck your chin. Lower your foot, lift your chin, and then head in neutral position. Send that leg out nice and long, but keep a little bit of a bend in the knee. And then we think up and over. So you lift upward, reach toward your foot. Does not matter if you touch the foot, just get a little positive stress into the back of your leg and take a nice big breath. Come back up nice and slow. Plant your feet nice and solid on the ground. Feet about hip width distance apart, hands down at your sides. We're going to do a sun salutation to each side, and then we're going to come around and do a variation of it in standing. So inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold towards your feet. Doesn't matter if you can touch your feet, just take a soft fold. Inhale, halfway up, make a little space for yourself. Take your right hand to your left knee. Left hand reaches behind you for a twist. And then we use a little drishti. Drishti is a focused gaze. So we take our eyes and look to that back hand as if your eyes are helping you reach it. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. Now bring that hand back in, catch hold of your knee, go knee towards your chest, nose towards your knee. Flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Soften everything, float that limb back down to the ground or right into your mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold towards your feet. Inhale, halfway up, make a little space for yourself. Left hand to the right knee, right hand reaches behind you for a twist. And then we use that drishti, that focused gaze. Use your eyes to look to your hand, take a breath. Release nice and slow. Hand catches hold of the knee, go knee towards your chest, nose towards your knee. Keep the knee towards your chest, flex your foot, lift your chest, lift your chin. Beautiful. Release nice and slow. Take a second just to come back to your mountain pose. Let your feet feel solid on the ground. Let your hands feel a little bit alive down the energy of your shoulder to the elbow, to your arms, to your hands, to your fingers. And then gaze forward. So maybe possibly if you can arrange it just for a moment, not looking at the screen, but possibly just a spot around the screen. Take a big filling up breath. You want to feel breath in the rib cage and almost feel like you're trying to move the water of your body with your breath. So you almost want to use your imagination like you can breathe all the way down to your feet. Keeping this idea of this nice solid mountain pose, but you're going to step your heels in underneath your knees just a little bit. And then you're going to think like you were positioning yourself to come up away from your chair. And now you're going to come forward just slightly. So your axis is a little bit forward. And now engage your muscles of your legs as if you're going to push off to come up and out of the chair, but you're still sitting down. And you want to feel like your legs are a little bit active. Energy out through your arms. And now we're going to go just a hinge forward. So keep your legs nice and active. Hinge your chest forward. Nice effort in the legs. Nice energy in your spine. So think axial elongation from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Put a little bit more airplane energy into your arms. Spread your fingers. Think almost pandiculation with your hands. Take a nice big breath. All right, we're going to sweep the hands forward and we're going to push off of our feet to come up to standing. So on your next exhalation, sweep, push, come up nice and slow and controlled. Grab one wrist, take a little lift, tip over, get a nice big stretch from your heel all the way down up into your side body arm. And then on your inhale, come up, switch your grip, grab your wrist, lift, tip over, get that nice big bit of space into the side. Use your in-breath to come up and then take a second, shake out the etch sketch. All right, now flip your chair around, go tall setting. So we're gonna stand tall setting at the tall side of the chair, a little bit of a handhold and a little bit of good control. When we do this kind of work, just make sure that your chair is not like super slippy underneath you. You want it to be a base of support or a proprioceptive idea of support. So start with just fingertips touching the chair so you know where it is, and then gaze forward, take a nice big breath. Take a moment just to feel your feet connected to the earth. Imagine that your feet are sipping straws and you're going to suck energy up from the earth. So you're pulling energy up. It's called Pada Bandha. We lift energy up from the soles of the feet, up your legs, up through your center, all the way up through the top of your head. So we just energize upward and then take a nice big rib cage filling breath. Let the ribs lift out to the sides. And then possibly give yourself a little space between you and your chair. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, we fold towards the tall side of the chair. So hands find the chair, we push the butt back just a touch and put a good bend in the knees. And then we inhale, half fold, we straighten the legs and lengthen the spine. So go back to that axial elongation idea. And then exhale, soften just a touch. Step your right leg back into a lunging position. So now with the left leg forward, we're going to take the right arm up. So you're going to lift your right arm up so we get a nice bit of space through that whole front line of the body. Look up, take a breath. And then your hand's going to find the chair. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a planking position. So for some of us, it's just an adjustment of the legs. Step your feet back. So you're in a little bit of a sturdy plank, and it could be feet flat on the ground, just a little bit of that shove forward energy. But we just want to feel like we're putting a little strength into the upper body. Now take it back into a down dog. Send your butt back at that little tip sideways, upside down V. Take a nice big breath. Right foot is going to step forward to lunging position. Lift out of your down dog. Step your right foot forward. Lunge. Now right foot forward. Right hand stays connected to the chair. Left arm's going to lift. Get that space into that left front side. Float that hand down. Back foot's going to step forward. Standing mountain pose. Pause there for a moment. When you're ready, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold to the tall surface of the chair. Inhale, half fold, we straighten the legs, axial elongation, lengthen your spine. Exhale for a little bit of softness. Now step left leg back, lunge position. Right hand stays connected to the chair. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Float it back down. We're going plank position, so sturdy on the chair. Step back to your plank, adjust it so it feels strong and confident in your chair, in your space, and in your body. And then when you're ready, take it back to that down dog shape. Beautiful. Lift up just enough. Left foot's going to step forward to that lunging position. Step your left foot forward. Left hand stays connected to the chair. Right hand reaches up. Hand reconnects to the chair. Little push off from that back leg. Hop it forward. Find your mountain pose. Nice. And now we're going to add just a little touch of twist in. Inhale, arms up. Maybe your hands meet. Maybe your chest gently lifts as you look up. And then as you exhale, fold towards your chair, bend your knees. Inhale, half fold, axial elongation, straighten the legs just a touch. Inhale, bring a little bit of softness back in, step your right leg back, lunge position. Left hand's gonna stay connected to the chair, right hand's gonna reach up, and now we're gonna sweep it back and get into an open twist. You're gonna reach that hand back, look to that back hand. There's your drishti again, focus gaze, take a moment there. Hand's gonna circle back up and around. We're gonna find that planking position. Step back to your plank or step forward to your plank. Find that plank that feels good and strong and sturdy for you, for your chair. And then when you're ready, take it back to your down dog. Lovely. Soften your knees, right foot steps forward to lunge position, left arm lifts up. And then we circle that hand around so we get into that nice twisted position. Look back to that hand. Sweep it back up and overhead, hands find the chair, hop that back foot forward, standing mountain pose. Lovely. One more time through on the other side. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale to soften, left leg's gonna step back, lunge position. Right hand stays connected to the chair, left hand lifts up. Circle it back, open up into that twisted position. Circle it back up and overhead, finding plank position or a plank-like position so you feel just a little bit of strength coming into the front of your body, and then send it back to your down dog shape. Lovely. Right foot's going to step forward, lunge position. Right hand stays connected to the chair, left hand reaches up. Open up into your twisted position. I took us in the wrong direction, so I'm going to swing us back around and get us to the other side. Step that right leg back. Step your left foot forward. Keep your left hand connected to the chair. Right hand's going to reach up and over. Open up into your twisted position. Look to that back hand. Sweep it back up and around. Plant your palms. Step back to that plank position. And then take it back to your down dog. All right, now stay in your down dog. Get a little bit of a nice upper body stretch. So think nice long arms, bit of space in your spine. And now you're gonna go a little hip drive. So you're gonna imagine that you're trying to reach your sits bones one at a time towards the back edge of your mat. Or think right sits bones are trying to reach to the left back corner of your mat. Left sits bones are trying to reach back to the right corner of your mat. So you wanna feel like there's a little shimmy or a little bit of a hike of the hips in that downward pattern. So you get that little stretch in your side body, a little bit of movement in the hips, a little grounding foundation in your feet. Notice your breath. Awesome. Now we're going to stay in down dog shape, but we're going to walk our feet. So you're going to walk your feet so that your feet turn to the right, but your spine stays relatively straight facing towards the tall side of the chair. And then your head's going to come and snuggle into the space between your arms and take a nice big rib cage filling breath. Soften your knees so you can come out slowly, and then we walk it over to the other side. So down dog position, and we just walk the feet so that our toes and our knees are pointed to the left just a touch. Heart forward, spine forward, head snuggles between your arms. Take a nice big rib cage filling breath. Lovely. Slow return, soft knees, walk it back to center. And then once you found your way back to center, solid upper back body, almost as if you could just lift your hands away from the chair and you'd still be in your down dog shape. So sort of firm up just a touch. And now take just your right arm. Right arm's going to lift, hold, 3, 2, 1. Hand returns. Left arm's going to come up and lift, hold, 3, 2, 1. Slow return, soft knees, walk yourself forward. We're going to turn sideways and go for a little crisscross leg. So the outer leg is going to crisscross at the ankles. We're going to go for a halfway fold. So we're not going to shoot for like stressing out the hips too much. But when you fold, think about going over the front pockets of your jeans to start, and then maybe just reach towards your shins, just enough so you feel like there's a little bit of that forward lean, and then take a nice big breath. Soften your knees, push down strong into your feet. Use your exhalation to come up. Now the leg that's in front, that arm is going to reach up and over, and you're going to take a little side bend. And you're going to push your hip out just a touch as you lean into that side stretch. And then once you've got that little side stretch, you're going to think top hand, roll your heart open as if you're pulling the thumb back and trying to shine your chest up towards the sky. And then look up towards the ceiling and take a nice big breath. Slowly, softly come out. Take a second and shoop, shoop, shoop that shoulder out. I'm going to flip my chair around. You spin yourself around in a way that makes good sense. We're going to take it to the other side. So spin yourself around or work your chair around and then crisscross your ankles so that the outer leg is the one that gets that little crisscross. And now think hinge over the front pockets of your jeans, maybe just to touch your shins. Hang there for a second, notice. One side might feel very different from the other. So I think that's just sort of an interesting place to kind of notice when it shows up. Take a nice big breath. Soft knees, push strong into your feet. Use your exhale to come up, and then that front leg is crisscross. So we take that upper hand, go into that side body stretch, hang there for a second, and then we pull it open just a little bit. So pull the thumb back, rotate like you're trying to shine your heart up towards the sky. Look towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Softly come out. Take your time to release, uncross your legs, give everything a little shoop and a little bit of a wiggle. Before we come back to our seat, we just want to be able to touch our feet to the short side of the chair. So get yourself arranged so that you could put your foot onto the chair. You're going to step one foot up. And then you're going to keep that nice, and you want to think push your foot down as if you're trying to keep that chair nice and solid connected to the earth. Push your foot down and then rotate. So you're going to get a nice, good leverage twist now. So really use that strong hold of your leg connected to the chair. With that nice, generous, hearty push, we're pushing down and we rotate. And then you're going to get as tall up into your spine as you can as you're equally pushing down into that chair. And go right leg onto the chair, push your foot down into the chair, leverage into your twist and get really nice and tall in your spine and take a nice big breath. All right, as you unwind your twist, you're going to tie your shoelaces 3 times, but think like you're trying to go over the front pocket of your jeans. So keep a nice long spine, reach down, touch your shoelaces, long spine, come back up nice and slow and controlled. Beautiful. Keep that long spine, reach down, touch your shoelaces, keep that long spine, come up nice and slow. One more time. Reach forward, keep that long spine, touch your shoelaces, keep that long spine, come up nice and slow. Can you lift that leg up and hold it in a little hover for just a second, just to see where your balance is at, and then float it down. And of course, we're taking all that work to the other side. So spin yourself around, or if your chair allows, step your other foot on. Now get a little pressure down. You want to feel like this leg is nice and sturdy, trying to hold that chair in place. Now opposite hand to the knee, rotate, get tall and upward lifted in your spine, leverage into the leg, but the leg is strong and sturdy, pushing down into the chair. Take one more breath. All right, slow unwind. Now think hip hinge. You're going to go over your thigh, touch your shoelaces, keep that axial elongation, come back up with nice firm center. Lift upward, hinge over your front pockets, touch your shoelaces. Lengthen your spine, come back up nice and slow. One more time. Long spine, hinge over, touch your shoelaces. Long spine, come back up with good control, and then see how your balance is feeling on this side. Could you lift your foot into a little bit of a hover? Maybe your big toe stays connected to the chair. All right, and then when you're ready, float that leg down, give everything that good Elvis asana, shake it all out, and then find your way back to a comfortable seat. And then as you make your way to your comfortable seat, just kind of scoot your butt forward so you have a little bit of room to play at the front of your chair. We're going to go low crisscross. So we're going to crisscross at the ankles. Think again about that hinge maneuver. So you're going to bring your whole heart forward like you're just trying to look to your shoelaces or look to your toes, and take a nice big breath. Come back up nice and slow. Now we're going to add a little thread the needle. So we're going to keep our legs as they are. And then that standing leg that's getting your held in place, you're going to take that is going to be your placeholder. Other arm's going to thread through. And then as you thread through, you're also going to fold towards that slightly externally rotated leg. Come up and out of that twist nice and slow. Leg that's in that crisscross situation, go shin scratch. So you're going to go up and down from the shoelaces towards the knee. And here you want to feel like there's a little bit of an engagement of the muscles. So think inner thigh muscles, getting a little bit of controlled work. Go a couple more times up and down. If you need that little efforted work, push your hand into your leg so you create that little touch of resistance for the last few. All right, now you're going to see, could you get this leg to lift all the way up and over? It's not for everybody's knees. It's not for everybody's hips. If it feels good here, you're going to go pause for a second. Does this feel sustainable? And if the answer is yes, then you're going to lean forward, get a nice soft fold, soft knees, soft butt muscles. Breathe as if you're trying to send breath way past the back of your rib cage down into your back pocket of your jeans. Take one more breath. Lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow, help lift that leg up and off. Take a second, give it a little bit of windshield wiper action. And then we're going to take that work to the other side. So we're going to go for that low crisscross at the ankles. Let the knee be externally rotated. Come over the front pockets of your jeans, take that little hinge, take a breath. Come back up nice and slow. Now we add that little thread of the needle. So hand's going to find that front of the knee to make a little space. Thread your hand through. Think shoulder towards that externally rotated knee. And then come back to your breath. On your next inhale, come up and out nice and slow, keeping that crisscross at the ankle, but now adding that little shin scratch. So we start to move the leg up and down, getting a little bit of range of motion, getting a little bit of strength building happening. And then if that's feeling good and that little bit of resisted effort feels good, push your hand into your inner thigh inside of the knee so you create a little bit of work and resistance with your hand. And then again, one side might always be a little different from the other. So we make sure we honor what's going on. If it feels good, see if it feels available to kind of hop up and over. Does that feel comfortable? Could you sustain this position? And then if it feels good, then you'll take it for a little hinge. Bring your heart forward and then invite a little softness in. Soft butt muscles, soft low back, big effort in the breath. Take one more breath. Lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow, help lift that leg up and off, give it a little windshield wiper action. And then once you've windshield wipered it just enough, step your feet a little bit wider. We're going back into that thread the needle, but now just for a little bit more oomph into it. So one hand's going to find that front knee. You're going to slip through, extending that arm into a little bit of reach. You want to really put a little reach into the hand, spread your fingers, use your drishti, look to that hand so we get that focused gaze. Take a nice big breath. If you're here and you feel sturdy and confident, the hand that was just kind of that space saver, you're going to see if it can catch hold of the wrist. And as you come away from this twisted position, you're going to gently pull in opposite directions. So you're going to hold onto your wrist, pull the wrist out as you come up, out, and away. So you're getting a little bit of that oppositional force as you lift up and out, and then give that shoulder a little shrug and a wiggle. And then we're going to do that same process to the other side. So hand finds the knee. There's your space saver. Thread your arm through, ear and shoulder towards that open knee. And then we put a little bit of energy out into that arm. Look to your fingers and take a nice big breath. All right, same thing on this side. If you feel sturdy here, free up your hand. That was that space saver. Grab hold of your wrist, and then we pull in opposition, but mindfully, carefully, slowly come up, give it that little tug. And then once you've come all the way up, give it that little shoop and a little wiggle. Now go back to your starting arm. Fingers are going to go up and over the shoulder. So you go up and over, tuck your elbow down, tuck your chin down to your chest. Take a big breath as if you're trying to put a bunch of space into the back of your shoulder blades. Your head's going to lift up to a neutral position, but hopefully here your hand can touch your elbow. And if you can touch your elbow, you're going to create a little bit of resistance with your hand, and you're going to push your elbow up like it's, and you'll feel it in that shoulder head. So, but go where it feels like strong, but not like putting you into a point of pain. So just creating that little touch of resistance, and see if you can hold that little touch of resistance for 3, 2, 1. Soften, release, take it over to the other side. Hands go up, fingers over the shoulder, tuck your elbow down, tuck your chin to your chest, come back to your breath. Lift your head back up to a neutral position. If it's available, hand is going to find that elbow, and then you're going to create that little touch of resistance. So you're pushing your elbow up as you push the hand down, and hold that little bit of resistance. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Soften, let it go, shoot that shoulder out. And now we're going to go back to a twist. And now we're going to go tall upward lifting spine, rotate into your twist, use your hand, maybe get a little bit more leverage into your twisted position. And now you're going to turn your head, look over your front shoulder, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Take a breath. Stay in your twisted position, lift your chin up like you're trying to look over a high wall, get a little bit of energy, upward lifting. And then release chin to neutral position, turn your head back so it comes around to center, and then unwind your twist. And now we take the twist over to the other side. So think nice lengthy spine, leverage into your twist, go into it with a little bit of an intention. Turn your head, look over your front shoulder, take a breath. Tuck your chin down towards the shoulder, take a breath. Lift your chin up like you're trying to look over a high wall. Release your chin, release your head back to neutral, unwind your twist. And now we're going to go crisscross arms. So you're going to crisscross your arms, round your back, and then you're going to take an inhale and think yawning stretch through the back of the shoulder blades, the bra line, and all those little fun places right between the vertebrae of the spine. So take a nice big inhale and fill up like you're just trying to get that big yawning stretch into that whole upper back. One more nice big breath. Beautiful. Soften, 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 soften. Switch the cross in your arms. Do it again. Round your back. Get that nice rounded back. Get that flexion into the spine, and then fill up with breath. Fill the rib cage. Fill the back of the shoulder blades. Fill the whole bra line up. Get that nice big spacious breath. Awesome. One more nice big breath. All right, and then soften, slow release. Take a second to just do that nice shrug and roll of the shoulders, get them moving, get a little gloss and glide, a little synovial fluid coming back into that whole upper area. And then we're just gonna walk the legs out just a touch. There's flexion in the feet, a little bit of a bend in the knees. Think over the front pockets of your jeans, reach towards your toes. If you can touch your toes, go ahead. If you can't touch your toes, don't worry about it. But if you can touch your toes, uncurl your toes. Just grab the bottoms of the pads of your toes and uncurl just a little bit. Get a little stretch into those bottoms of your feet. One more moment to uncurl the toes. And then slowly, gently, mindfully walk yourself up away from your feet. Take your time as you bring your back just into the back of your chair, and then let everything have a moment just to snuggle and settle in. Let your eyes close down. Let your body reduce effort. See if you can invite a little space into your eyebrows, a little space into your jaw. Mouth is still closed and we still breathe in and out through the nose, but maybe just a little softness right into the back of your jaw. In a moment, we're going to make just a little bit of noise. So if you can, just take a moment to just tune into the sounds around you, the sounds of the birds outside, the sounds of your house, the sounds of your room. Allow the sounds just to come in and meet your ears. And then start to wiggle your fingers and twinkle your toes. Move your wrists and move your ankles. On your next hearty in-breath, lift your back up away from your seat. And then we're going to take one arm in a little cupped hand and you're going to pat, pat, pat. So we go up the outside of the arm and down the inside of the arm. And you just kind of take a couple of good pats up and down, stimulating the fascial lines, stimulating the energy lines of the body. So we're just kind of waking up some points around the arm, the elbow pit. All right, now take it up under your armpit and just give a bunch of lymph nodes, those lymph channels up. Get all the way up and down the sides of the rib best you can. When I go on the ribs, I like to give a good hearty thump, thump, thump. I want to wake up the bony structure as well. All right, take one more second there and then take it over to the other side. A little cupped hand, go up the outside of the arm, down the in. Nice. And then take it into that armpit, cup your hands, stimulate those lymph channels underneath the armpit. And then if it feels available, take it up and down the side of the rib. And now we're going to go around the heart space. And as we exhale, we're going to hum. So you're going to feel that vibration in your hum. So you're going to start with just a little George of the Jungle. Wake up your heart, wake up your lungs, stimulate those lymph channels and the vagus nerve all around that front. Now take a nice big in-breath through your nose. And as you exhale, let out a nice low hum. When you're ready for it, take another big in-breath through your nose. Exhale, let out a nice low hum. All right, hands are going to come down, find your tops of your thighs, stimulate the tops of your thighs, and then take it into your IT band, give them a little stimulation. Take it to your knees, give them a little rough. Take it to your knee pits, give them a little squish. Give your fingers a little twinkle. We're going to come up, standing, fold. All right, so we're going to lean forward, hands find the ground. Lift your butt up away from your chair, but keep a good bend in the knees. Come up slowly, carefully, in a good, confident way. Take your arms up and then take that big yawning stretch from your feet all the way up to your fingers. Take that nice, big, stiffening stretch. And then as you exhale, let it go. You guys are amazing. So happy Wednesday. Woo, woo.